Daikaiju Network, where we have a healthy obsession with kaiju. I am your co-host, KAMEN RIDER, and here is your other co-host, Jason.
How's it going, peeps?
Actually, I'm Kent. So here we are doing.
Not sure what that was all about.
I was doing when he transforms, he.
Yeah, or you're just in the Rocky pose.
You can't see just because of the camera and how my proximity to the camera. I didn't want to stand all the way back there because I didn't know how well this would pick me up. I probably would have to yell.
It doesn't really matter.
We're doing 4 more episodes of Rider. And so before we get into that, Jason, the usual.
Yeah. As always, if you see a subscribe button down below or above or wherever you're watching us from, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as smash the like button and hit the notification bell icon to get notifications whenever we go live and upload any new videos in the future. And you can find everything all in one place at our Linktree URL, smack dab right in front of you there, /GoGo Kaiju Show. And we're available on the following video platforms such as YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Facebook, and X/Twitter. Also available on the following audio platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. And you can find both audio and video versions of our episodes right on our website at DaikaijuNetwork.com.
That graphic's going to be changing soon enough.
Pretty soon. In a few weeks.
And then we're going to merchandise the hell out of everything.
And we won't have to go live anymore.
We're going to make money off of the 0 people that watch this show.
Yeah.
But you know what? We do this for free. We are doing a public service here. We're doing it for you because we love this stuff. All right. So are we ready?
What do you think?
I tried, folks. Are we ready here?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, so episode 48 is titled Blood-Sucking Marshes of Hirogirilla. So let me get my deal set up here because it takes...
Or Hirogiri.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the word. It's gorilla, like guerrilla warfare. So...
Yeah, whatever.
All right. We're still set here?
Yes, I am ready. Just waiting on you.
Okay, so once again, for those who are joining us for the first time, which is probably none of you because there's 0 of you, what I do on these commentaries is I count down from 3. I go 3, 2, 1, go. You hit play, select, or whatever button it is on whatever device you're using to start up the video. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, shit.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put up the screen.
So I noticed one person on my Facebook feed is also going through Kamen Rider. I guess he recently did episode 74. And our old buddy Ichiro from Godzilla's Revenge makes an appearance there.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we got something else to look forward to in a while.
Oh, boy.
You'll probably forget by that point.
Yeah. Yeah, once we get there, we'd be like, oh, no, it's Ichiro. It's like, yeah, I just talked about this about 20 or so episodes ago.
Yeah, we'll both be like, oh, and then 5 minutes later, wait a minute, I talked about this 3 or 4 months ago.
How much you want to bet that we're going to forget, and then we're just going to be all ape shit on that.
I'm willing to bet $5 now that we won't, or at least I won't, because we're talking about it so much that it's going to be ingrained enough in my brain. It's like, wait a minute, I remember talking about this. Leech gorilla here. I kind of like that more.
Or Leechorilla.
Sounds like some sort of fruit roll-up flavor.
Yeah. Or a gorilla version of a bug.
What the hell? It's on his face. Does he not know that?
Yeah. It's like he should at least feel something.
Well, yeah, I would think it'd be slimy enough that you would know something landed on your face. Or just your skin in general.
Hey, it's creepy crawlers.
Oh, this is cool. I'm digging the fact that what they're doing with a lot of the Shocker generals is not a whole lot of them have just straight up 5-finger hands. Usually one of the hands is like a claw or, whatever. And same thing is going for this leech gorilla here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's sucking their blood. I see.
Hence why he's called the blood-sucking leechorilla.
Well, I thought he was vacuuming up any leeches that...
Yeah, vacuuming up his own kind.
Well, vacuum him up so he can shoot him out again. That's what I thought he was doing.
He's a cannibal.
I didn't mean that he was killing them as he was vacuuming. That's what I do on cleaning day.
Sure.
Those are some big playing cards again.
I was going to say, there they are with their big old maid cards. They're just trying to make sure that you know that they're playing cards.
We just want you to know we're not playing old maid. We're playing cards.
Playing solitaire.
I forgot what senpai means. Like,
It's
does it
like
mean
a
boss?
No, it's kind of like your it's like someone that's older than you.
Huh. Well, that doesn't help a whole lot.
Your Yeah, it's refers to a member of higher experience, hierarchy, level, or age.
So I guess they got it right wrong because I'm seeing a lot of articles on either senpai or senpai. I think it's an N, senpai, not senpai.
Yeah, it's senpai.
So the translator got it wrong.
Get it right.
Because I looked at that, I'm like, I knew of senpai, but I guess that's why I got so confused by it.
Creepy crawlers.
I was thinking of a Dr. Dreadful food lab a few days ago.
You know, those kind of like those leech things kind of remind me of those shark gummies.
Yeah, the
blue and
shark
white.
bites.
Yeah, no, not shark bites, just gummies where they're that blue and white.
Oh yeah. This is silly.
Who's gonna win?
You remember like those real cheap rubber like fish or dolphin toys like you would get for, I don't know, winning 2 tickets at Chuck E. Cheese? And
I think
it
so.
was hollowed out and it had like red eyes. It was a real cheap thing.
Maybe.
I remember as a kid that was like my favorite toy for a while.
The ones I really liked are those airplanes that are kind of made out of foam.
Foam,
like,
yeah.
Thing, like thin little things, and you just like put them together and then put on the propeller and then just kind of throw them like a paper airplane. I remember getting those at like the school fair or festival.
I love you. It's funny you bring that up because I was also thinking about that over the last few days. I'm like, man, I miss that. I wish schools up here would do it. I mean, our kids at schools do a few cool things, but there's no actual fair of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they had that.
Yeah, I don't even think they do those school book fairs anymore.
The kids at school does.
Okay.
They do it, I think, once a year now.
Okay, let's stop talking about nostalgic stuff.
They just showed Senpai again. But yeah, I was thinking of that too. Before we were getting started, I thought to myself, how long will it take before we start talking about something else?
Of course, Shocker's behind it yet, doofus. Who else would it be?
I was thinking maybe Calvin Coolidge.
What?
The president, the former president.
Okay.
Calvin Coolidge came back from the dead and became a villain.
Exactly what you're smoking.
I love that slaps sound. Oh, that was great. All right, so what's the over-under on Rider, Kick, and Explosion?
Rider, Kick, I probably would say plus 2,000, and then Explosion, I would say plus 500.
I will go with your Rider Kick. The Explosion, I will go higher on the plus. I will say plus 1,500.
With this one, I just don't really see the Explosion one.
Going on a hunch, hey?
Seeing that they're always next to a lake, I've always found out that whenever they're next to a lake or something, that they either melt or just smoke or something just kind of simmers up from the water and all that.
I remember we had, maybe 3 or 4 podcasts ago, they were by the ocean, and there was one that blew up, and I thought there was another one where they had the villain blow up.
Why don't you just Rider Kick Taki? Get him out of his misery.
Take the chubster out.
Looks like a clown.
Actually, I would just leave him alone. Like, half the work's done.
You know, I kind of noticed recently that they replaced the sword weapon from Kamen Rider to like a staff all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Pussy.
You are what you eat, I guess. Oh, jeez. I honestly didn't expect you to go that route.
Well, you shouldn't have said anything.
I guess I'm going to have to be very careful about what I say around you child.
Well, same goes for you.
I'm not that bad.
Oh, give me a frickin' break.
Prove it.
Don't lie to us.
Dear Lord, like, that's so clearly like powder or something on his face.
It's like, quick, make him more of a clown.
He wakes up and he's the new Joker. You know, because they had a Japanese Spider-Man, it'd be great if they had a Japanese Batman. I'm sure that would have been, like, really cool. And I'm not being facetious either. I think it would be really cool.
Well, and then it would just be out there with how Japan makes their shows.
Oh, I know. Because the Japanese Spider-Man had a Zord.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Batman would if they made a Batman.
I wouldn't be at least surprised about that. With all the money that Batman has, he can practically do anything.
He should, yeah. Oh, dear Lord. That to me is doesn't look the best. It's so funny you're afraid of like one little leech hopping on you.
Yeah.
You know what would be a good way for a rider to destroy this leech guy is to have plenty of salt.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, because you get... This is a fact, folks. If you ever go somewhere and you get leeches on you, or if you're expecting to run into leeches, have salt on hand. And if they get on you, put some salt on them. This episode seems to have a lot of sound effects. Like you got like a little drippy water sound there just a second ago.
Bitch
You had a
slapping
big
noises.
slap noise. Yeah.
Welcome to my lair, bitch.
And he just says that. I don't think you created it. I think the head shocker.
I take all the credit, not you.
What the hell? Why are their faces green? Is it because those ropes are so tight around their necks?
Oh, he sucked their blood at Leechorella.
I would think it'd be white instead of green.
Yeah, because Taki, he was white. So what? Whoever did the face paint or whatever here, I think kind of screwed up.
Imagine that Crab Cakes and Schuster are laid down and in the same room together.
What the heck?
What do I keep telling you? Oh, that's gross. Wait a minute. Why is she acting like a primate, like picking his hair and eating whatever he's got out of? Ugh.
Who knows?
It makes no sense.
So he's saying that the kid has lice?
He must have something, I guess. But I could see that if the shocker villain this episode was a primate and they somehow change him into some primate. But that's not what they're doing here.
It's funny when that guy comes out that he trips over all those branches.
I was just thinking that too, but I wasn't going to say it.
Well, you should have.
Again, it's the M. It's not an M, it's an N.
On my end, I don't even get that. It just says like the guy's name.
Yeah, it's saying senpai on my end.
Like a bunch of zombies there.
I know, I don't like this. Part of it is just because I've seen so much zombie crap over the years, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of vampires and zombies.
It just says Mr. Yamazaki. Not the senpai.
Come on, that Yamazaki guy should be able to take out that minion. These guys are chumps.
nice air kick. Uh-oh.
こいつを奴隷人間にしてやるのだ。
What the heck? Now he's white. Like he didn't even suck his blood or anything. How the hell did he get out?
Yeah. The thing is, though, if he's also a cyborg, how can he succumb to this sort of stuff?
That's what I'd like to know. And how he has regular human blood, too.
Boo. Although Crab Cakes at least is starting to make himself useful.
No, I thought they were running away with the medicine. What the hell happened?
They were getting cured in that hospital, and they were just sleeping half the episode. Tachibana occasionally reminds me of Mo. I mean, he does.
Don't know how, but okay.
Well, sometimes his pants are so short you see his socks. His hair is not exactly like Mo's, but it's long enough that it reminds me of Mo. He's short like Mo. He's crabby like Mo. Maybe I need to, instead of calling him Crab Cakes, I should call him Mo. The antidote fell out. Maybe all of it.
That's what I was going to say. That's probably all of it. It's like, Kara just picked the empty bottle.
That'd be funny. He opened it up and splashed out, and he's like, no! Oh, that's funny. Yeah, like they're going to wait when you tell them to wait. That's how all that works.
And now he's got a sword. Okay, we're gonna find out soon. He is facing you. What the hell are you talking about? It's like bitch slapping him all over.
I was just gonna say something similar.
Sure you were.
I was. Oh boy. Okay. Does he blow up? Oh. Does that count as an explosion?
No.
Does that count as an explosion there at the end?
No, he didn't even explode. He just got electrocuted.
I find it interesting, though, that once again they pulled another move out of thin air.
So at least
watch.
So
just watch. Like if King Kong invades, he'll be able to grow stilts and make him as big as Kong and be like, where did that come from?
So at least we were right on the rider kick, but then you can maybe say I was right.
You were close to being right. At first I thought the monster was San Antonio. It's the city come to life and it's a monster. Sea anemone.
Okay. Get this screen off here. Okay.
Well, I like the leech gorilla costume. It's not the greatest thing that we've ever seen. The story, very vampiric, though. I've seen enough of that stuff over the last few years doing this podcast that I'm a little tired of it. And again, like I said, in general, I'm just not a fan of vampire stuff anymore because we've seen so much of it in 20 plus years now that it just, I'm not, I'm just not enthused about it. It's an okay episode. Rider Kick, though, unfortunately, I have to dock it. Because that's what I've been doing now for the last few episodes.
But we didn't see explosion this time.
No, but I don't dock for explosion. But I dock for rider kick. Maybe I should start docking too for when they pull moves out of thin air, like this electrical ability that he had. So instead of it being something like a B, it turns into an F or something like that. Can you imagine that? Like every episode would probably get an F. But no,
then it'd be like, what's the point?
Yeah, it was great to actually see the Tachibana actually do something more. Even though it wasn't a whole lot, he at least did something other than complain and stand around the whole time like he has been for quite some time now. It's an okay episode. I mean, I wasn't over the moon too much about anything. I would say it's an average type of Kamen Rider episode. I would say before I dock it, the grade I would give it would be a C, but now that I'm docking it, I'm going to give it like a D plus.
Yeah, I'm sort of with you on this one. It's a pretty decent episode for what it is, with like the vampiric and then as well as the zombie stuff. It gets a little bit old over time because a lot, not only this show kind of does some of that from time to time in some of the episodes in the past, but also other Toku TV shows and the like during this time period. It over time it just gets a little bit overused. Sort of saying, you got Dr. Death, who's kind of looks like Dracula in a way, but he's not for whatever reason. But
Dracula is public domain too. Like nobody technically owns him. So
yeah. And then same with the zombie stuff that gets overused over time. So try something else.
Granted, this was in the 70s, so
yeah. But yeah, other than that, the Leechorilla costume was pretty good. Not the best or the greatest one that we've seen thus far. Battles, I mean, they're battles, kind of your generic battles, and with some of the air and air, like air punches or air kicks from time to time. And yeah, so kind of your usual, typical Kamen Rider Toku episode. So at least this time didn't really see much of hypnosis or anything of the sort.
Oh, that's right. You got points for that.
Although they use kind of the like a liquid or something to kind of do that, but I probably would technically not dock it.
I thought they were using the liquid to transform them, though. I thought that's what that was for.
It was just
we just watched it. We should know.
It was just say turn him into like a slave or something of the sort. But I'm not going to dock it technically, so it's not like a hypnosis sort of thing. But other than that, I would give episode 48. I'll give it a C.
Okay.
And middle of the road.
More or less on the same page, except I dock now because of the stupid rider kick.
Yeah.
Let me get this. So this one is called Cannibalistic Monster Iso Ginchak, but it's the sea anemone, more or less. Let me get my deal set up here.
It's Iso Ginchak.
All right, we ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And so just a note for everybody, after this episode, I got to switch discs, so we're going to have like a minute or two.
And also, after this episode, we're officially halfway through the series. Oh, wow. Hard to believe.
I mean, in many ways, I do like this a little bit more than Spectre Man. But as we have continued throughout this series, I am getting a little bored with how same many of these episodes are. And Spectre Man, even though it was real crazy in sort of a bad way at times, it at least always provided you with some knuck and futz stuff. So, yeah. I don't know.
Like with this, it's sort of getting to be a little bit repetitionist.
Repetitive.
Yeah, repetitive.
You
Not
made
sure
up
why I came up. I thought it was gets a little bit repetitive, and it's like you kind of know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, and look, I think a person could make the argument for something like Ultraman, but the original Ultraman, in many ways, I think is superior, not only just because of production value in many ways, but the characters I thought were more charming. And on top of that, too, yeah, in many ways there's a formula, but I thought each episode, more or less, was a little bit different enough to excite you or to grab your attention in some way. Kamen Rider, I mean, other than the villain of the week, where you more or less kind of based on the suit decide whether or not how cool they are, you're just like, okay. Because otherwise we know how it's going to end with the stupid rider kick most of the time.
And it's just like sort of the same formula, but maybe just a bit of a different shocker cyborg in every episode with maybe subtle changes here and there. But yeah,
right.
Like what you said is just practically more the same thing.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's sort of like a villain of the week is about the only thing that really gives you anything to look forward to. But even then, because of the sameness in terms of story structure and how they handle even the villains, I mean, it just, it still just doesn't do it. Mm-hmm. And see, right here, here's Sea Anemone. This is pretty cool. Like, I like this suit. But I know how this is going to be. In fact, I'm going to say plus 5,000 on Rider Kick and plus 5,000 on Explosion.
What the heck?
Some sort of tornado.
It just looks like a cotton ball just shaped into a tornado.
I thought you were going to say something else there for a second.
I don't know what you mean, but
I thought you're going to, the way you were talking, I thought you were going to say it looks like a cock.
Okay. I don't know how I would refer
Again,
to
because
that.
you're nuts. I'll let him suck this in.
Okay.
What? So wait a minute. Like, he somehow lost his balance? How did he not know that was going to happen after he positioned himself there? Oh my gosh.
I don't know what the heck.
That guy deserved to die.
Jesus.
He did. Like, he fell, and it was nothing of the sea anemone.
Oh, hey, it's
Oh,
Hongo.
hey, it's our buddy. I thought I saw in the preview that there were 2 Kamen Riders, but I wasn't sure. So he's decided to retire more or less as being a Kamen Rider and become an archaeologist.
I guess.
He's probably like, the other guy took my job, so I might as well go digging for old civilizations.
It's a worthless piece of junk.
Then they melt it down and turn it into some useful tool. But instead they find out it's like the key to some knowledge of some ancient civilization they've been looking for like
Or
80 years.
or maybe they melt down the medallion and create the One Ring.
No. Oh, so that's how it starts.
Yes.
See, Tolkien.
It all makes sense.
Tolkien was wrong.
Kamen Rider got it right.
Yes.
Okay.
今度は渋滞所に転勤してきたおまわりさんですね。
あ、そうですか。
ご存知じゃないでしょうけど、この子
For a second, at one point, I thought the subtitles where it said Pokemon.
That'd be wonderful.
厳しくしつければいいんですがね。というと、男性、本当のことじゃないもんで。実りが
ないでね。だったんです。
いけないよ。正直ないい子にならないと。お探してどうもすみませんでした。どうもご苦労様でございます。ぜひお使いにくかったんだろうな。よく聞こえよ。先生こき使ってやるさ。住所もあれで結構なかなか役に立つからな。
The heck? You shouldn't have gotten up then. Oh, damn. Sucks her in.
I don't. Do sea anemones suck in their food?
I don't know. Damn. And he's got a foot on top of his head.
本郷がアフリカから撃ってきた連邦によると、狙われているのは中山仁君という少年だし。少年が本郷も今日金ないつことありますから。
まあ、本郷さんがアメリカから戻ってくるの。でもよっぽど大事
Gonna
なんだ
get some
ね。
more Hongo.
I'm not gonna lie. This guy playing Hayato, I mean, he's okay. But I thought Hongo had more personality.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Took out a piece of hair from that one old woman.
Hairball.
Yeah. Jeez. Even some clothes.
レバか。ヒロシの服はないのか。
ありませんが、他にはこんなものが。
開いた小包のカスだ。多分この中にダイヤモンド鉱山の地図が入っていたはずだ。それはきっとヒロシが持っているに違いない。イソギンジャック、もう一度行ってこい。そうだ、行け。アフリカのダイヤモンド鉱山を我がショッカーのものとするために。
おじさん、おばさん、おばさん、おじさん。
No, it isn't. It'll be funny if one of them hits a big old pothole and then flips over his bike.
アフリカから届いた手包みの中身を渡し、渡さないとお前を飲み込んで溶かしてしまうぞ。いいか。
I bet those people get recovered in the end. He wears like pirate boots.
I think it just makes the costume a little bit too ridiculous if he's wearing the pirate boots.
Let me see how sea anemones eat their food. How do sea anemones eat? Feeding on tiny plankton or fish. Stinging tentacles are triggered by the slightest touch. Firing a harpoon-like filament called a nematocyst into their prey. Once injected with the neurotoxin, the prey is guided into the mouth by the tentacles. So this whole sucking thing is not true.
Yeah.
Unless you think the episode sucks.
They just want to make it a little more unique. I mean, it's not in the ocean or anything, so it's got to do something.
You know, because he's got like a whip-like tentacle sort of arm here, it would have been a fantastic way to write a story about him paralyzing or poisoning his victims. Instead, this whole stupid vortex vacuum thing that he's got going.
Apparently, the writers didn't think that far into it.
The writers, probably because of time crunching, and are just literally pulling stuff out of their head. Well, I don't mean literally like matter, but like pulling ideas out of their heads just because of crunch time. Like, tornado sucking. And the minions still have the simple shocker emblem.
Oh, it's your Schuster.
Maybe this time it'll work. I know it won't, but
it's not going to.
Because Jason spoiled that for me last episode.
Well, it was bound to happen.
Don't toy with me, series. If you truly aren't going to kill him, then don't bother.
きっと奴は見つけ出すに違いない。
ヒロシちゃん、どこに隠れたの？
わからん。だが何としても見つけ出さなくて。
Of course, you don't know where Hiroshi.
I was about to say someone's not the world's greatest detective.
And then they showed a shot if it was like some kind of tracking device or detonation device. If it was a tracking device, like, why would you need that? You know where this place is.
その方法は
You're thinking too much, Jason.
I'm not thinking too much.
Oh, dear Lord. The
I mean,
occult.
it's obvious.
We're dealing with the occult here. Mystical gibberish. That's what my subtitle says.
Mystical gibberish.
That's what it says. I wish I had my phone here to take a photo of that. It says mystical gibberish.
That should be a thing on a T-shirt. Mystical gibberish.
Yeah. And it shows a picture of this guy.
With gibberish symbols and all that stuff.
Or better
They don't
yet,
mean worth shit.
or you could do it this way. Let's say I'm writing a book on Kamen Rider, and the title of it is called Mystical Gibberish, Behind the Scenes of the Making of Kamen Rider. I love that. That's one of the greatest subtitles I've ever seen. Mystical Gibberish.
I'm gonna make billions off of this book.
Hey, look, I would be willing to say, take my money.
秋の匂いがする。
How can you smell we don't have a nose at all?
You're thinking too hard again, Jason.
I ain't thinking too much.
That shows. I always like these little temples. I think they're cool.
Gonna be
Shrines,
nice.
temples, whatever they are.
It's gonna be nice to see those in person in the next couple of years.
You saw like some sort of light that was tracking the child as he ran through the trees there from the production crew.
It's like, okay, make sure you go through this route, kid. Maybe he's like,
Hey!
maybe he fucked up going through like the wrong places so many times. It's like, okay, kid, we're gonna take this light and we're gonna direct you how to go through here.
And the funny
Make sure
thing
you go
is,
through the right path.
and the funny thing is that the direction he went, he was only off by 6 inches, and the director got so angry that
Damn it.
but I'm only off by 6 inches. You got to go here. Otherwise, you don't eat for the day.
Oh,
It'd be like that Kojiro Hongo character from Vera's No Supper Tonight. Remember that?
yeah.
He kept threatening the boys with No Supper Tonight.
その子なら今しがと私をからかって逃げてる。
Oh,
郵
ick.
便局のお化けに狙われてるとか嘘をついてな。
The police officer said the boy teased him.
Oh no.
That's what it
No.
said on my subtitles.
No.
無理して大丈夫か？大丈夫だ。よし。
They have this break sound effect and they don't even break.
I think you don't even see the skid marks on the road.
Oh, man.
Again, I'm wishing there was a big pothole.
That'd be funny, and then like he flips off and flies like 20 feet.
Yeah, flips off, flies, and then flies right through a window of a truck.
And then like the glass is like slowly cutting into his throat. He's like,
Oh. I wouldn't say half through it. I would say fully go through it.
高いところ。
What the heck is that noise?
I'm taking care of Lincoln's virtual Godzilla pet.
Oh, those Tamagotchis.
Yeah, that's the 98 Godzilla.
No. I see that Tamagotchis are still around.
They are. I've seen them at several shops around here. They even in Japan, in Japan, they even are doing, I think, Godzilla and Mothra Tamagotchis.
And I think in Japan, too, that there's these gachapon machines where you can get one of them.
I have to say, I've been playing with this periodically because he's been playing with it since like December, and it's kind of neat.
All right, we should get the moment of truth here.
I'm still plus, what did I say, 5,000?
Yeah, you said 5,000 for both.
It'd be funny if you just toss the kid off. The kid doesn't seem to be awake, so I'm just gonna save room up here, toss him over.
Hey kid, you're gonna be fine. Here. Throws him down.
No catch yet, and then the minions back off and he crashes on the ground. And Kamen Rider goes, "Oh, I misjudged that."
Oh.
The kid is awake because, see, look, he's walking and holding himself up. Kamen Rider with the staff reminds me of Golden Bat with his staff.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Golden Bat, though, was a lot cooler.
One of these times, we need to watch the anime version of Golden Bat.
If we can find it. I would love to watch it.
I think after this podcast episode, I'm going to have to see if anyone on YouTube has it. I think there is. I'm going to have to double check.
I wonder how upset the farmer must have been today.
It's like, damn it, now my rice is ruined.
I just planted that. Can we get the Shocker Generals a different like sound effect or whatever? This is getting old.
Just like what we mentioned in our review of the previous episode, things are starting to get a bit repetitive because you kind of know what's going to happen.
Ooh. This is so stupid, but I love it.
Rider wheel.
The rider wheel. Rider reversal. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's a double kick, but still a kick.
So should I take away double the score because it was
and he exploded?
I told you. So
I didn't say you weren't gonna be wrong.
I know, but I'm celebrating. Because you took my job.
You pansy. You took my job.
I would love to see him fighting Hayato to just see who gets to become head writer again.
Yeah.
That'd make a wonderful movie. And then they have like Tachibana choose, like Tachibana choose who is the ultimate writer. And he wusses out. And then he ends up dead. They end up
Mortal
like
Kombat Kamen Rider style.
What'd you say?
I said Mortal Kombat Kamen Rider style.
Oh, then maybe they have a Gangnam Style off where whoever performs the best Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style off.
Because it becomes Kamen Rider.
日本に帰ってきた。そして私はそのお金で日本の不幸な東者のために子供だけの村を作るつもりです。ああ、そりゃいい構えですね。私は楽しい子供の村を作ります。この白氏と二人できっと。よかったな、ヒロシ。建造ローリンの発見したダイヤモンド
Old man Kenzo.
ショッカーの野望は消えた。しかし。
I'm very close to start docking points just for seeing Hayato right away on his bike at the end of every episode now.
Yeah, I sort of forgot. I was going to ask you if you were going to still think about doing that.
Oh, this next villain looks pretty neat. Turtle Stone. A killer aurora of death. I like that. But then again, I've said that how many times, and we walk away going, meh, it was fine.
Hey, just remember this. Tonight I will dine on turtle soup.
Oh, yeah. I got those games on Switch, the whole collection of them.
I got the original NES one still.
I know. I don't have a CRT TV to play that sort of thing anymore, sadly.
Well, I know I had the hookups and stuff to do whatever, but I don't know if they'll still... I know it worked on my Toshiba TV, HD TV that's in my bedroom now, but I just don't really have the room to do that, unfortunately.
So what we just went through over the last 2 minutes is a pure example of what you and I were talking about when we discussed the last Kamen Rider episode of sameness. Everything's so same that we're talking about stuff that's totally unrelated to the podcast that we're doing. So with Sea Anemone, significantly better suit than Leech Gorilla. I really dig it, although the pirate boots were kind of dumb. Actually, I was wrong. I thought the people he ate earlier in the episode would be recovered by episode's end. No. So,
yeah, because when I saw him pulling out the gal's hair from his head and all that stuff earlier when they were in the shocker layers, and when you said that, I was like, that's not going to happen when I saw that.
I just thought she'd come out bald.
And then just seeing all the piles of clothes and dentures too.
Oh. I still thought maybe they'd be recovered.
At least I was watching.
Sameness, though. I mean, but it was a pretty good episode for the most part. Having Hongo come back was always nice. The Rider Wheel is probably the greatest thing I've seen the show do in a while. I really like that. It's so stupid, but the reason why I enjoyed it is because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I think I would give this a C+, but because of, again, a Rider kick.
Although it was a double kick, but still counts as one.
Yeah, I'm taking it down to a D because of the kick.
Yeah, again, it's just getting to be repetitive at this point with kind of the same thing, but different Shocker Cyborg of the Week here. Although I did like... For my subtitles, they called it Anemone for this week's Shocker Cyborg, or this episode's Shocker
Sea
Cyborg.
Anemone is what it is. Sea Anemone.
Yeah,
that's how you say it.
For me, it was Anemone.
It's pronounced anemone. That's how you say it. It's based off an actual animal.
Whatever. Yeah. It was a pretty good design, but kind of an unusual way to do it, because when you were doing a little bit of research of how it, got its prey and everything, and it's like a lot of that stuff is underwater, but with him being in air is like that's not going to really work.
Well, no, but the main thing was that it sticks out like a tentacle or two to paralyze its prey. He had that whip-like appendage on his right arm. That could have been something like he had an electric shock or something that could be set off to paralyze people.
Yeah. But with this episode, it's at least good to see Hongo, but then he's going to be not in it.
Gone again.
After this. But hey, at least we're now officially halfway through this show. Finally. After 14 podcast episodes worth, we're finally officially halfway through.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to remind you of this. You're wanting to do podcasts every other week once we redo stuff here next month. I had originally said that we were looking to be done. What did I say? We were going to be done like April or something like that, under the April or May, under the original time frame. And with that, I said we're probably looking to spend most of the rest of this year dealing with this.
Yeah. But I mean, with us not doing the live stuff anymore, doing pre-recorded stuff, I needed at least an extra week to kind of get the video and stuff taken care of.
Well, I know. It's just I was getting excited that maybe we would be done with this show. And again, folks, like, don't take this the wrong way. I do like Kamen Rider, but when you watch so many episodes within like every week,
and then with us now starting to say things are starting to get to be a little bit more repetitive and predictable.
And remember last week when we came back after a 2-week hiatus, you and I both said, "Oh my gosh, like this is like refreshing. Like I'm ready to watch this again." 1 week later, just 1 week later, 7 days later, we're like, "Oh my God."
But hey,
how quickly it changes.
But hey, since you said as far as doing it every other week, at least we'll get an extra break. So it should at least be sort of refreshing.
I don't know.
We'll see. But anyways, it's this episode's predictable and everything. It's okay. They're battles. And then again, the Shocker Cyborg design is pretty good, but again, not great or anything of the sort or to be fawning over. So episode 49 for me, I'll again give it a C.
All right. So I'm going to have to switch discs. I'm going to take a quick restroom break as well.
All right.
And then we'll continue with the final half of this podcast episode.
Yep.
A lot of you out there probably saying good.
Yeah. I'll put up a screen here. So then we'll be right back, folks.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, I had my earbuds sitting on the computer, and I'm like, I put them in my ear, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
Oh, question for you here.
No.
The kids and I, we're going to go see GXK the 29th, the day it comes out. Would you on the 30th want to be talking about GXK?
We can get around to that after the podcast episode because I know eventually we're going to need to talk about it.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Okay, so episode 50, Monster Kame Stone's Murderous Aurora Program is the title of this episode. So let me get.
I didn't get that. Started. It's like mine is just Monster Kame Stone's Murderous R.
Murderous R. A pirate theme going on, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Unfortunately. Yes, I am ready.
Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. By the way, I just want to let everyone know that the next time we podcast, the man that is not me that you see on your screen here will be 1 year older. So wish this bum a happy birthday. His birthday's on Thursday.
Well, and then in 6 more months,
yeah, but see, that's a ways. Like 6.5 months.
He's gonna be the big 4-0.
But you know what?
Hard to believe.
The key to longevity is up here. You got to beat 7.
Yeah, that is true. All right, I'm gonna put up the screen here.
Right.
Oh my God! I just realized that we're pretty much exact on our video because
we are.
The audio that I'm comparing, like from mine to yours, they're exactly on point.
Oh, that's awesome. That doesn't
I think that's
happen.
probably
like,
the
ever.
first time ever.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention when we talked about the last episode, Mystical Gibberish, the subtitle of the year. Actually, instead of making it, what did I say, a D, I'm going to up it to a D plus just because of Mystical Gibberish.
Well, I think you did have it as a D plus with the docking.
Oh, well then I'll up it to a C minus.
What is going on? It's like tripping out.
Or a stone turtle.
どうしたのよ君が悪いわ
The sea turtle creature.
なんでさんともう遊びに来たんじゃないかあ、オーラだ
Boy, that's with that rainbow thing going across the screen there. That's just sort of seizure inducing.
Maybe it's Rainbow Bright.
Light bright style.
Or maybe like Rainbow Bright as hell.
Oh, I think you kind of noticed that they took off that rainbow overlay on the camera. Just how it looked.
But again, I mean, let's be serious. What is the actual budget of something like this?
Well, you would think in post-production they would do some kind of edits and all that.
But again,
to make sure that
and
they don't
budgets,
show it.
man, like, I don't know.
Well, you would think, in post-production that they would make sure that to cut parts of that out.
目の網膜をやられていく
There's a lot that they could have cut out of this series up to this point and didn't.
Like showing shadows of cameramen and everything.
Yep. And the choreography, I swear, has gotten lazier over the last, like, maybe 15 episodes or so.
Well, after doing 98 episodes, things are going to start to slip here and there. They're starting to turn out to be that one fighter in Mortal Kombat with the blindfold.
Kenshi?
Yeah.
Fight.
みんな失明を免れるそうだ
でもどうしてこんなことひどいわ
今頃は慌てて手当てをしてももう手遅れだ私がこの手で改造した改造人間その改造人間が発しているあのオーロラを見た人間どもは
Rots their eyes out.
全て全身が
There's the war rots their eyes out.
I don't know.
Well, that's what Dr. Death is saying. I would say if you're looking at the sun, that would make sense, but not the aurora.
特殊メガネをかけろ
Oh, damn.
It's like Orga.
Or Gamera.
出荷の改造人間あのオーロラは使うか
The way that he broke through that wall there is like the Kool-Aid man from Family Guy. He's breaking through the walls like, oh, yeah.
And he slowly backs out with this whoopsie look on his face.
Oh, my God. That was so apparent.
Take off your Virtual Boy.
Or take off your Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, or your, what's the meta one? Oculus? Take off your Oculus.
Yeah, I think so.
Did your subtitles say "eat this"?
I didn't quite catch it. Oh,
I'm going to fall. Good.
that would suck if he accidentally. Cool.
But the actor
Because that looks like,
did.
yeah.
That'd be funny if Kamen Rider stood there and was like, "I'll think about it."
You're on your own, kid. Funny if he falls down the stairs and then runs or trips and falls right into the cameraman.
And the cameraman's like, "Oh!"
Oh my god, he's got the Infinity Gauntlet.
Before there was Thanos, there was Turtle Stone.
It's just a weird name for the Shocker Cyborg.
It's
Turtle
lazy as
Stone.
far as I'm concerned.
Dude, you don't have eyes.
FBI の本部に救援を依頼した
How dare you get those idiots involved? And then these two duke it out.
の救援にかかりきりだし
Bitch slap.
お願いしてしまったまともにショッカーと戦えるのは和屋さんと俺だけでしょ奴らの出花をくじくのが先決だと思ったんです
Taking the wind. I thought he was going to say breaking wind.
で誰が来てくれ
I love to break wind. Yeah, I know that. That's why it smells like shit in here.
And then he does like some boogie dance where like every time he moves his body, he toots.
日本より18時日本に着きます FBI からの連絡だとすでに向こう立っているそうです
Tachibana should have said or asked him, who are you talking
日
to?
本の上空に差し掛か
Yeah. I was watching the movie Turtles Forever the other day. It was made in 2000, what was it, 2009, 2010. It was the combination. What it was bringing together of Turtles from 2003, 87, and the classic comic series.
Yeah.
And several times the 87 Raphael would look at the camera and make some comment, and the villains would be like, "Who are you talking to?"
ってことですでは、安全士君じゃなかったのかショッカーの目は欺くためさ一文字軍の容態はどうなの
Well, it's not that hard to fool Shocker.
ショッカーとは
I mean, for crying out loud, a tourist could come to Japan on their first visit and find a Shocker hideout.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen commercials where Shocker hideouts are in the Moss Burgers. Moss Burger locations. I've actually seen those. It's like supposed to promote the new Shin Kamen Rider movie and everything, where they just took over Moss Burger location.
ショッカーめたとえ目が見えなくても断じて貴様らには負けん
How the hell does he know where he's going when he's got a blindfold?
Yeah, well,
たとえ目が見えない
I
海賊に見せられたことだ
Remember, kids, don't drive while you're blind.
運転できないはずはない
no do.
No,
I'm expecting comedy gold at this point.
like I say, I'm waiting for a huge pothole at this point.
走れた走れたショッカーめお前たちの
Then he goes through an orphanage.
これでショッカーと戦いそして必ず役の野望を取るそれが俺の使命だ
This is dumb. I mean, this is so dumb right here.
The hell?
I bet he's a villain.
I think that was the FBI dude.
Yeah, but I bet he's a villain.
I bet he's not.
It'd be funny if he stuck a cigar in the gas tank. Oh, he's gonna mess with the gas tank. I was just
You're
making
somewhat
crap
right.
up. I was just making crap up.
By the way, how much are you betting for the rider kick and explosion?
Rider kick plus 7,000.
Jeez.
Explosion also plus 7,000.
全然聞こえませんでしたね。
I think it's highly likely.
I'll probably will match the rider kick. As far as the explosion,
ゆっくり休んだ方がいいだろ
I'll probably say plus 3,000.
う。そうか。
That's still pretty high.
ハンデルちゃん、僕目が見るようになったんだ
But
よ。
not as high as you.
お母さんが持ってきてくださった。
I'm not high.
よ。お母さんも使ってるんでしょ。
That's you. Stop it.
Hey,
Be quiet.
shut up.
今日やこれを行きましょう。じゃあまた。
あと。お前には効き目がないのか。
Here, use his cologne.
じゃないじゃないか。
I always find this funny because it's back to back. Dun, 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 dun.
It's like I'm expecting something else here.
隼人のやつ、目が悪いのにこんなもの飲みまして。折れてんのかな。
It's feces.
And it's chunky too. Oh my god. It's so stupid. Oh, come on. I told you. I told you he's going to be a bad guy. Of course,
Oh, yeah,
he dropped
so
the cufflink.
obvious.
Yeah, he drops a cufflink.
ロボットのもんだ。
Boo.
It's like I said, so predictable.
So dumb. I mean, again, I understand it's a kid's show. I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around that, but at the same time, I just can't. It's just so hard to.
一文字、これは。
We got the whole place to ourselves.
He's got the whole place to himself. He's got the whole place to himself. He's got the whole darn place to himself.
アギ、お前の命はここまでだ。
Yeah, those things are so fast. Like it's almost impossible to get out of the way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, that was such obvious air punch and air kick.
Everybody wants kung fu air punching. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Those kicks are fast as.
出てきたわ。ついさっきよ。
しまった。やっぱり。ロバートのやつ。お姉さん、滝の男 場には発信機がつけてあります。どっちの方向へ行ったか見てください。北北西20キロだ。とすると
How can you read that when it's just a clock?
向こう側か。
Like it didn't show anything else except for just a regular watch face.
This is so dumb that he's able to drive that motorcycle without any issues. Like from the very second he was on there testing it out and messing with it.
Yeah.
I was right. What? He's saying, Robert, who the hell are you? Like, you just said it. Oh.
It was me, Turtlestone, the whole time.
But see, again, that's not his main power. His main power is not to, you know, have disguises.
It was the
Just
Infinity
another thing
Gauntlet.
pulled out of the air. Okay, we get it. He's right there.
How would you know where they're at?
I'm not buying this because he didn't go through any training or any, like, he just miraculously decided he was going to do it and he did it.
Like he just knows where he, like his entire surroundings. And then he's not blind there.
That minion. Jeez. You can tell he didn't want to fall down the stairs.
Continuing to grow worse. You mean get worse?
Of course, it's a teacup ride. The top part of this Turtlestone's head reminds me of like the awful haircuts you would see like in animated medieval tales of little boys
Bowl
that are
cuts?
squires. Yeah. It's grotesque.
こんなに多くのことはカメストの動きがわからん。
Yeah, you dodged all the minion attacks and everything, and you knew where they were at. But then when it comes to Turtlestone, it's quite the opposite.
Well, he was mentioning something ridiculous, like he can't somehow like feel the movements or pick out the movements
But
as well because of the sound.
But that's just dumb.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm just saying they try justifying it, and it's not a good one. That's what
But
I'm saying.
then now you can hear his footsteps.
Yeah, because the ride stopped. Oh, you could tell they did that take several times. Look, because of the ground being disturbed there.
Yeah.
And a few footprints.
You knew where that was. Uh-oh.
No, please God.
Oh. Both rider kick and explosion.
Man, if I was the house, I would be filthy rich.
You'd be a billionaire by now.
I know. I could retire and be like, I made my money off a Kamen Rider. Who would have thunk?
No one.
Hey, Kent, did you ever think you were going to become a billionaire? Well, you know, I always thought if I was going to be a billionaire, I'd have to either commit genocide or drill for oil. But you know what?
Oh,
I ended up making it off a Kamen Rider.
残念ながら目が見えなかったもんでな。その代わり今度のシルバーレースでは必ず優勝してみせるからな。
So how did he get his sight back and everyone else?
Again, we're not supposed to think about this. Okay, I may seriously have to start taking some points away for this whole motorcycle ending deal. I'm gonna have to now. Oh, what is this? You know what? I gotta quit being excited. Because every time I do it, it's just like meh. Versus double rider kick.
Uh-oh. I think we probably already know.
So they've already given away the ending.
Oh man. I think we know what the automatic rating is going to be for the next episode.
Can we just start taking a moment now? And this is all speculation, but at the same time, I think we got to have a serious discussion about this series at this point. We are just a hair halfway through at this point. And I know we have said this about before with not only this show, but Spectre Man, I think even the original Ultraman and stuff, that these shows, at least back during this time period, definitely were not always funded the best, and were always given a short schedule to just in general produce them and to get them out on the boob tube. As you and I have been saying all podcast long, sameness. Like, we are getting a little bored with this. I'm starting to get not just frustrated, but very irritated with this series now. And I can't believe I'm saying this. Spectre Man is actually starting to look good now at this very moment. And again, I do feel bad for the writers, everybody involved with the production of these, because again, I am very positive when I say that, yeah, they didn't have an enormous enough budget and probably were very tight on schedule with production. On some level, though, that does not excuse the enormous amount of repetition in story beats and how stories conclude, etc., that we have seen for 50 episodes now, much of 50 episodes.
And then, too, with the amount of moves and skills or powers that Kamen Rider has, you would think that they would at least use some of those that are specially used to maybe defeat certain shocker cyborgs. But as you say, almost, I would say pretty much every time now. It's just the rider kick is mostly used, and with the riders and stuff, you have a plethora of moves and skills for Kamen Rider that he's used throughout this entire series.
They're still making up moves.
Try to use different moves to defeat these shocker cyborgs instead of just the rider kick or the rider double kick whenever Hongo is around.
And the one thing, what was it? Last episode when they did the rider wheel, when that happened, I so badly was hoping that was going to be the move to stop the sea anemone. And it didn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, it would have been so stupid and ridiculous, but come on, like, go for it. I actually would have upped my score if they had done that.
And then with Spectre-Man, at least they went about using different abilities or moves for Spectre-Man to defeat all his enemies at the end of every episode.
And the very first episode we covered in this podcast, like I just said a moment ago, there's still even occasionally making up moves and abilities for him. That whole shocker electric thing that he did in that pond to kill the leech gorilla. I mean, that was never established before up until that very point.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I understand this is a kid's show. Kids shows back then, they're not going to pour in the money and the time like they would maybe for an adult audience show. To me, though, even if I was a kid at this time, I would get a little tired of it because I still remember as a kid, I was my son's age, give or take like a year, when Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came out. And you and I, we were big into that for like 2-3 years, however long. Mm-hmm. And I even got tired occasionally when they would have 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes in a row where the way that they defeated the opponents were the same. Like one of the ways that they would defeat opponents in that series would be they would have the Megazord, the power sword for the Megazord, and then it would be like this power swipe.
Oh, yeah.
Kill them. And they still did that, I think, a majority of the time throughout that series.
A good portion, I would say.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll do different ones.
And even earlier on, before the whole real Megazord thing really took off with that series, one of the things that they would do was that each Power Ranger had their own weapon. Mm-hmm. And then one of the things that they would do would combine all their weapons to create, what was it, a power bow, I think is what they called. And it shot like, I think, 5 different lasers out at the same time to destroy the villain in that episode.
It's been a while since I've last seen Power Rangers.
And I even got tired of that because that was something that it didn't happen a whole lot throughout most of the series, but early on it did happen quite a bit. And even I was getting tired of some of that stuff because it became predictable and just a lot of things were kind of becoming sameness. I will say this, though, about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Other than the endings that were very predictable and kind of irritating the heck out of me, most of the episodes were different enough that I stayed with the series for a while as a kid. Heck, I even went through part of the actual Japanese series 6-7 years ago. And not only is it quite a bit different from the American, but it is different enough from most episodes to episodes that I was able to hang with it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Kamen Rider is now different from that in that it is almost virtually the same, minus very small changes to accommodate the new Shocker General of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a point where, and I know we just talked about after the last episode about, once we get the new site up and going, we're going to be doing a podcast every other week. I don't think even having a week off in between podcasts is going to help because I'm getting irritated with this now. Like as of just this last episode we watched, I'm starting to get irritated.
And I know that you mentioned about possibly doing like bringing back doing
5.
5 episodes every other week, and I was sort of thinking, like, I know you've sort of mentioned about, things and here and there, like, if we do 5 episodes, I don't know how much you would take it, especially
here's the thing.
Getting around to this repetitiveness.
I want us to finish this up as quickly as we possibly can. I really do, because I'm so desperate to move on to something else at this point. I mean, 50 episodes is a lot. When we did Ultra 7, that was 56 or something like that?
It was somewhere around that neighborhood, but I know with Spectre Man, that was 62 episodes. And I know.
And see, we would be in the home stretch, more or less, right now, if this were Spectre Man. We still have half a fucking series to go.
We just barely got over the halfway point with the last episode here.
And and this whole other week when we're doing episodes, because like I said, if we were doing episodes every week like we were doing, and initially at that time too, we were still doing 5 episodes per podcast, I was like, we will be done by like mid-late April. And that was before the whole Godzilla versus Kong New Empire thing changed too. And I was kind of excited about that because, again, I'm like, okay, like I'm enjoying Kamen Rider, but I'm ready to do something else for a while. If we do the every other week, even if we do 5 episodes, we're still looking. And then we do, like I said, we do the things where we take most of a month off after G-Fest.
Well, and then not only that, you got GXK, obviously,
right?
And then us previewing the upcoming G-Fest convention, sort of what we usually do, and then the post G-Fest review. Yeah.
We're not going to get done till November, maybe even early December. I don't know if I want this 2024 to like, I'm getting sick of this. This is what I'm saying. I'm getting sick of this. I really am. I'm getting very irritated and bored and frustrated with this series. But talking about Turtlestone, costume's okay, looks a little shabby in a couple spots. Rider kick, it was sort of funny at the amusement park. But because of the way I'm feeling right now about this series, not only am I docking it because of the rider kick, but I'm starting to get irritated. And I think my scores are going to continually not only be low, but even get lower moving forward unless we hit a rare gem of an episode. This is going to get worse. So anybody out there that's hoping that I may, as the series progresses, maybe start pushing rankings back up, the way things are going right now, I'm going to say no, and it's probably going to get worse because I'm getting angry with this series.
I would only say probably the episodes that are going to be a bit different between now and the end of the entire series is probably going to be the last few episodes.
I hope. But I'm not going to hold my breath right now.
Especially the final episode. I'm going to say that's going to be the only different one. But I'm going to predict that.
My rating for this episode before docking, I'm giving it a C-. But with docking it, I'm giving it a D-.
Oh, wow. Yeah, again, repetitiveness. Once again, pretty predictable here. The Turtlestone costume, pretty decent. I would say it's better than that. The whatever that thing was in the previous episode, anemone or whatever.
Anemone.
And then the kind of the Infinity Gauntlet thing was sort of pretty cool. I mean, that's kind of what he was doing there at one point.
I know.
And then just sort of having eyes rot after seeing the Aurora. That was a bit unusual. there, and then the FBI guy, that was sort of predictable there. So again, goes along with that theme that we're kind of getting at here, and then battles and stuff, same. So yeah, with this episode, I'm gonna give it a C-. Too.
Yeah. So before we start, I'm excited about seeing the Stone Monster Unicornos because it actually looks cool.
Yeah.
However, I'm saying
we just already know what's going to happen.
And that's the thing. I am setting the line at a rider kick at plus infinity.
Oh my God. I can't beat that except for matching it.
I'm not trying to beat you. No, I'm just saying these are my odds of it actually happening because it's right there in the title.
Yeah.
So plus infinity. Why don't you go ahead, make plus infinity on the rider kick, Jason?
I'll match it there. And then I'll probably do the same as far as the explosion part.
Yeah, I'll go right there with you. Plus infinity for the explosion. This is so dumb. I mean, I am very angry right now because I'm like, okay, well, here's like a villain that actually looks very like
it looks good,
cool,
but then
like really, really cool.
But then again, just kind of our recent, you can say, discovery of it being repetitiveness and sameness. Pretty much that title's shows it plain as day. Right,
it's almost as if the show itself is tired of itself and is like, whatever, we're just going to tell you how this turns out.
It's just like they're so sick of it. They're just flat out telling you what's going to happen to this Unicornos.
But are we ready?
Unfortunately, yes.
3, 2, 1, go. I mean, we came into this podcast, average. We're like average looking forward to this. And with each episode that's progressed, we're like, I hate this. Like we're hating it even more.
Although it's sort of gone into a roller coaster, like there are some batches that are pretty good, and then some's like, gosh, shit.
Well, even with some of those good ones, some of those good ones still like maybe had a writer kick to them or what have you.
Yeah.
And it just...
Again, he has a plethora of moves and abilities to use to defeat the Shocker Cyborg. But I don't know what the deal is with some of these writers. I don't know if it's the writers themselves or the director or the producers that's wanting to do the writer kick.
It's writers because the writers are the ones that tell the story.
But you would think it'd be like the director doing sort of the final say of what he or she wants.
Well, yeah, but again, though, too, like we keep saying, due to tight shooting schedules and stuff, I'm sure they're probably like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, I'm sure that's probably how it's going. Because directors don't like to be forced. I mean, we've heard this many times involving with, the kaiju genre, with Godzilla and, some of the older Gamera movies. Like even Shusuke Kaneko, when he made GMK, complained about Toho's tight shooting schedule. I mean, directors don't like to be hurried.
Mm-hmm. Powdered baby milk.
That just, to me, looked like flour.
At least the good thing that I've seen in these batch of episodes, I have not seen any of that hypnosis from.
Yep, that's where I thought you were going.
That is at least a good upside. I think they also got sick and tired of it too.
I would think they'd be sick and tired of the Rider kick before they'd be sick and tired, because the Rider kick was around much longer before even, what's his name, Dr. Dracula or whatever came around.
Well, unfortunately, someone has a huge fetish or boner with the Rider kick.
Ugh. It's just, I'm sick of it. I am at an actual point where I'm just tired of this. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm getting angry, irritated, frustrated. See, look at how cool this villain is.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Legion in a way.
Almost, yeah.
Maybe a fusion between the Legion from Gamera and one of the He-Man henchmen, because that's what it looks like.
I mean, this is cool, and the unfortunate thing is that story beats are going to be the same, and we know how he's going to be defeated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, it's a letter from Hungo.
Of course. And another thing, too, like we've talked about in past episodes where, like here, they're talking about unicorns. All of a sudden, unicorns become part of the story because the villain of the episode happens to be a unicorn type. And then we had something involving a plant, like odd number of episodes ago. And guess what was involved with that episode story? Something involving with a plant. It's just...
Well, it's like
Yawn.
When Ichimonji came in as the second Kamen Rider and stuff, you had that cactus dude come in, and everything was themed as that.
They slipped and fell.
Oh.
And then, like, they broke their leg and...
Oh. Same can be said for you, Tachibana.
The last several podcasts we've done, and I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, it's making me long for stuff like the original Ultraman series. Because that is an incredible series. It's so much fun. It's a delight. It's just... It's done by people that know what they're doing.
Or just movies, because it's not only a one and done thing, there's so much more going on. Whoa. Did he freeze him?
Yeah, right. Like he doesn't need racing anymore. And see, I thought Kamen Rider, like, one of the big things with him was that he was supposed to be doing more things with his motorcycle. He hardly does. Because, like, his motorcycle's supposed to change, too, and, like, have missiles or whatever. I mean, the last time we saw that was, what, 15, 20 episodes ago, maybe?
Yeah. Well, and I hope, too, that as more as we progress this entire Kamen Rider franchise, the better that it actually gets, and the story that it'd be much better.
Again, dude, I mean, you're an optimist. We're halfway through. And
well, I'm not talking about this series. I'm talking about the franchise as a whole with other Kamen Rider stuff.
I'm really hoping that someone in the US, like Mill Creek or whoever, actually gets the license and official, like what Mill Creek did with Ultraman. They bring out officially licensed American DVDs or Blu-rays of the original Kamen Rider through, I don't know, one of the more recent Rider series.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Even though I'm pretty upset about this series, I still would buy an official U.S. release of it.
Yeah. Well, I think I know at least Shout Factory has some sort of rights to the original, but then I'm not sure as far as some of the other ones because I know Amazon Prime, they have, I think, one of the more recent ones called Kamen Rider Black, which is much darker and serious compared to this one.
You know what we should do is do Amazon Prime next for Kamen Rider. Like, we're gonna go adult Kamen Rider because this sucks.
I wonder how. I need to check to see how many episodes Kamen Rider Black is. And then I know that they were selling a Blu-ray one of the Kamen Riders. I don't know if it was, I forget the name. It was like the Kamen Rider was kind of this black and yellow looking.
Yeah. Yeah, Shout Factory has 2 or 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if they were series or movies. Let me take a look at the Shout Factory site.
Oh, again, they have this original one. They should. Because I know that Tubi is showing it, or they have it on there, presented by Shout Factory.
Come on, I hate pop-ups on websites anymore. Stop it.
Just get an ad block. Just get an ad block plug-in.
Okay, so here's what they got. They're all series. Kamen Rider Geats, Kamen Rider Ryuki, Kamen Rider 01, and Kamen Rider Kuga.
Yeah, Kuga is the one that I saw the DVD, the Blu-ray of on Amazon.
Again, I'm a little surprised they don't have the original right. There's Karen Rider. What the heck?
Karen Rider.
That's what it said in their search results, Karen Rider, but it still comes up with Kamen Rider.
Oh, that's funny. I want to speak to your manager.
Karen Rider, Karen Rider, Karen. So this is a real cool villain. I'm digging Unicornos. I keep wanting to call it Unicronos.
Funny that those minions, when they fall off or jump off from that building, that they broke both their legs.
They have a compound fracture. Like the bone is sticking out of their legs or whatever.
Oh, no.
The actor playing Unicornos is like jacked. Like, you take a look at their leg muscles, like they're built.
Well, and again, it's like kind of a combination of like Legion and one of the He-Man henchmen. They're the way that this costume is designed. Maybe a little blend of Hordak in there.
I'm thinking like Merman. Trying to think of what other He-Man villains. Triclops.
Too Bad.
Too Bad had the 2 heads.
Yeah, but as far as like the one that was, I think the smaller one of Too Bad.
I think
he was either orange or purple.
I think Tuvar. Because Badra was... No, Badra was the smaller one.
Yeah. And I think he was the purple one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck? It just went to black.
That's weird.
It didn't even show me the little break card there.
Well, let me tell you something, Jason. You didn't miss a darn thing.
Well, it just made me go ahead of you like several seconds there. I had to pause it.
Oh, I thought you meant like it was just a black screen for what would have been the break period.
Yeah, it just went to black for a second and then popped up the new scene again. Ooh, candle, spooky.
A random skull that's obviously made from plaster.
Yeah.
Here's maybe your hypnosis, Jason. That's funny. Candles make him sleepy.
I'll have to see if it's actually hypnosis, if he's following their orders and stuff. So much gas. He'll be walking around like he's got poop in his pants.
He's been sitting on a horse for days.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're an actor, are you as bored with making these as we are watching them?
Or just people behind the camera. Like, are they the
Maybe
ones
the
that
only
are
thing that
on
keeps
board?
them going is like, I'm going to get paid at the end of this. I'm going to get paid at the end of this. I'm going to get paid at the end of this. That's it. Like, I'm stuck and I can't get up. Maybe Hongo's like, this is my chance to finally become the main Kamen Rider.
I'm taking over this show mine now.
Yeah.
It was mine originally.
Spending a lot of time in this cave.
You know, I just realized, you know, we're talking about the repetitiveness with the rider kicking everything. When it came to Hongo, originally, we didn't see much of that. But then when it came to Hayato and everything, it was practically, it was nothing but the rider kick.
Oh, I'm not blaming the actor, because I think what happened was that the producers and everyone involved with creating the show probably were ambitious and excited to where they're like, oh, we got that, you know, this will be enough time for us to write something fun and creative every week. And then they realized over time, like we're getting, you know, constrained here because we actually don't. We're having setbacks. We're probably having to rewrite the story as we're filming it. And who knows, maybe even shooting schedules got tighter too as they progressed. But yeah, I think it had maybe more to do with excitement, maybe even believing that they had more time than they actually had. Could even be that the studio itself over time just said no, like instead of 2 weeks, you got 1 week to produce these now. I mean, I don't know. How? Like, you're in Japan. How is wiping chakra in Japan going to wipe them out in Europe? Dumb.
Just because, Kent. Just because.
I know. Like I said, dumb. If my family wasn't here, I would be yelling out all kinds of expletives.
Oh, I know.
I probably
know
would
you
be
would.
going on a rant of expletives.
Oh, we know. We know you would.
Maybe I should start docking points for the series, keeping Taki alive. Just keep finding ways to dock more points from this series. Taki's still alive. That's -1. Rider
You're pretty
kick,
much
that's
going to dock him throughout.
-infinity.
You're pretty much going to do that through the remainder of the series.
Yeah, I'm just letting
Except
everyone know.
Except for the couple episodes he's not in.
Yeah, I'm just letting everyone know now that every episode from now until the end is an F. Because I'm going to be finding ways of docking points.
And then it's just, what's the point of even watching if you're just going to give it an F?
Completionist purposes, that's why. Styrofoam. Yeah, you're a strong man.
I'm a big kid now.
Dun, dun.
You can obviously see that he's not actually riding it there.
He's bouncing. What a dope. I'm even going to start insulting the people. I'm so sick of this anymore. I really am. They took what was a very cool, fun, promising series and have just,
not even at the halfway point.
I know. It just, it started maybe a quarter of the way through, and
maybe somewhere around the 30s or so.
I would even argue it started somewhere in the 20s. Because it was fun. I remember, because we took a break from the series to finish Spectre-Man around episode 21. Mm-hmm. And I remember when we were doing Spectre-Man, I occasionally would be like, man, I miss Kamen Rider. It was fun. Well, that was when the first 21 episodes we covered, Kamen Rider was good.
You ruined his Bible.
That's funny. I was thinking something similar.
That was weak.
Why are we fighting minions? Just find Unicornos and do your rider kick. Let's end these episodes in 10 minutes instead of 22.
Do those comedy skits that you see on YouTube, this series in 5 minutes or so goes through the entire series in 5 minutes with cheap ass shit and comedy baked into it.
You and I, if we did a whole coverage of the Kamen Rider series at this point, we don't even have to watch the final half of the series. In 10 seconds, you and I would be like, villain of the week, sometimes good, sometimes not, rider kick, explosions occasionally, the end. What the?
Uh-oh.
So fucking stupid.
And where's the explosion?
It'll come.
Oh. So, wait. That's when he said it. It almost tricked us.
That's almost as funny as what was a Kamen Rider sticking his head into a plane or whatever that thing was that really made us laugh a little while ago. This episode was such a tease.
Well, mainly that explosion part.
Yeah, that's what I'm mentioning.
It almost thought I was like, oh, we're going to trick you this time around.
女神博士の計画は仮面ライダー2人の活躍によって粉砕された。しかしショッカーはなおも攻撃をやめない。果たして次の攻撃は一体何であろうか。
Well, okay, what
Let's
we
see what
got
the
here?
next episode. Oh, a giant crow. Birdman
Gill
Gill
crow.
Glass.
Or Gilco.
Making use of this gas.
Gilcrow. Okay.
I will not look forward to it, Mr. Announcer Narrator.
Well, that was predictable.
So here's the thing. I was going to give it an F, but because it teased us there for a moment and you and I had a wonderful laugh together on that, I'm giving it a D minus. But if I watched this by myself, I would
Not
give
by
it
much.
I would give it an F. But like I was telling you before, one of the reasons why I love doing commentaries with you is because like we both like get surprised or something at the same time. So here's my review. Unicorno's pretty cool looking villain, interesting little power abilities got there. Everything yawn fest. A little bit of a fun tease with the explosion at the end, nevertheless still predictable. If I wasn't docking points, I probably would give it a C+, but because of me starting to get irritated, I would have docked this an F, but then Jason and I had a good laugh together, so instead of an F, I'll give it a D-.
Yeah, again, predictable. Although we get Hongo in here, but as far as the finishing move, predictable. And yeah, the tease part was pretty funny and everything. Gave us a little bit of good entertainment there. Yeah, Unicorno's design pretty good. I would say probably the best one out of this 4 batches of episodes here. But yeah, again, predictable as always. Again, as I said, the title just pretty much just gives it away. It's just blatantly right in your face there. So I'm just gonna give episode 51. I'll give it a D.
Fantastic.
Okay, don't creep me out.
That was the whole point. All right. It's sad to say I'm getting tired of the series. I really am. And it pains me to think that we still have like 8 more months of this crap.
So since we're officially halfway through, I know we typically kind of do sort of a ranking of things so far. Well, we've sort of kind of done that. So
I guess I don't remember that.
So I'm probably guessing your reaction to this is that we've already sort of gone through as it was pretty good in the beginning parts with a handful of episodes.
Yeah. The first like 20 something episodes so far really have been the best. That's not to say that nothing has been good since then. I mean, other than some unintentional laughs, like the airplane deal that happened several podcasts ago, like the only thing you really have to look forward to is like how cool is the villain of the episode. That's about it. But there was just more substance. There was better storytelling. There was just like I said, there just was more substance to most of those first 20 something episodes. And since then it's been, I'm just going to say it, rotten, because it's predictable. I'm not excited. Occasionally I can get like a tinge of excitement off of a cool villain look like Unicornos. But again, like even with the villains and their mission every episode, yes, I know their mission is to stop Kamen Rider, but the fact that even their story beats, regardless of how different they are the same basically every episode without any sort of real uniqueness. Like even Unicornos is still spitting crap from his mouth. Like I've noticed with a lot of these shocker generals now, they're either spitting something gooey from their mouth or they're throwing something most of the time. Very rarely are we getting anything more unique. And I understand that sometimes maybe you can be limited to that. And yeah, some of the earlier shocker generals did that, but it just seems like with the writing and everything's gotten more lazy. Like there's just been this air of complacency with the series for 25, 30 episodes now. And I'm tired of it. Do I think this series could get better? Well, there's enough episodes to where it could, but will it? No, I don't. The only episode that I think is going to break the mold is the last one, maybe 2 episodes. But even then, look, I'm forecasting it right now. I have no idea how this series ends. I've never looked at a Wikipedia of the series or anything like that. I'm assuming it's going to end in a writer kick with destroying the final villain. I'm telling you right now, it's probably going to end with a writer kick or a writer double kick. Whatever. I mean, it's a kick. I'm telling you right now, that's how it's going to
probably
end.
An explosion.
Yes, a major explosion because the villain probably not only will die, but so will the base.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the ending to the original Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I just, like I said, I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. I'm exasperated now with this series. Spectre Man, for as cheap and sometimes unintentionally stupid and annoying that show was, it was more unique now that I think about it. And I know some people would argue, well, you're looking back now with rose-colored glasses because now you're becoming frustrated with Kamen Rider. It's like, I don't think so. Because we just recently got done with that series like a couple months ago. It wasn't that long ago, and I remember decent chunks of that series. And yeah, we made fun of it and stuff like that. And yeah, there definitely were bad sections of it. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think I was overly harsh on that series. And I think part of the reason why I was overly harsh was because that series, through no fault of its own, probably just didn't have, again, the shooting schedule nor the budget. But even then, the shootings, even with a short shooting schedule that probably also had, it still churned out something different almost every episode. Kamen Rider at this point cannot say that. It's like the MCU basically now, where everything is copy and paste, make very small changes to accommodate, the individual villain of the week. Although with the MCU, it's accommodate the hero of the movie. So, it's irritating now. And I don't have faith that this is honestly going to get better. I'm expecting the same moving forward until we get to the final 1 or 2 episodes. That's where I'm expecting potential change to happen. So, like, if I were just basing off the first 20 episodes, I would say Kamen Rider is an A. But since then, at this point, halfway through, my anger really wants me to give this a bad rating. But then I think that would be very unfair to the first, 20-something episodes. I'm giving it a C+, simply because I have a lot of goodwill towards those first handful of episodes. But like I said, I mean, part of me really wants to give this a D or D-, just because just how infuriated I am. But again, that's basing off emotion and not taking into consideration how good those first 20-something episodes really were. Yeah. So, I'm giving it a C+ at this point.
Yeah. And when it comes to the show, and I know with some of the schedules and stuff, and with the amount of episodes that they do for these kinds of series nowadays, where it's maybe 12 or 24 episodes for that matter. With the amount of episodes that this series has, almost 100 episodes, you would think with the amount of predictability and repetitiveness, they should have before actually doing the entire series, they should have probably stepped back a little bit and say, with what's going on in the middle here, it seems like there's little to no substance to this series at all, because it's just repetitiveness episode after episode. Just the only difference is the Shocker Cyborg of the week or episode, for that matter. And with the first 20 so episodes, there were some differences within those, and at least some entertainment with that. So they should have thought about, it's like, let's just cut out all these episodes that have no substance towards what we're doing at all, and it's just repetitiveness and all that. Maybe shrunk it down to maybe 30 or so episodes, and just call it a day. So that could have at least have saved them some time instead of just making so many episodes. To like, what's the purpose? What are they trying to achieve at this point with so many episodes?
Well, and I think the original network that this aired on back in 72, I'm assuming how some television contracts went is similar to how in the US, because a production company will have like maybe the first couple episodes of a show made and then show them to the heads of network. And then they usually will maybe show the first one or couple episodes. And depending upon what they do with ratings, then the network usually orders X amount of episodes. And like I said, to my knowledge, there is nothing in the English language that talks about the history of the production of this original Kamen Rider series. So I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I'm speculating that the original network that aired this series back in 72 probably saw it and realized, hey, this is definitely like, doing well with the kids. Let's order nearly 100 episodes. And Toei or whoever is like, fantastic. And then they realize after a while, like they realized not only how popular this probably was with the younger demographic for children, probably again, like my son's age, around 7 to 10 at least, maybe even going a little bit older, that again, I'm almost willing to bet production timing may have even been cut more, because to me, other than the sameness, it almost comes off as the series has even gotten sloppier across the board as well. Because you and I mean, the series in terms of its fight choreography it hasn't been the best. And again, I understand, they probably had tight shooting schedules to begin with, not a great budget at all either. But the fighting, I thought in the first 20 something episodes looked better than it has. And you and I have been seeing more and more since we've come back to this series after finishing Spectre Man. You and I keep commenting on how pathetic the fight choreography looks on virtually every episode. We are seeing more and more gaps that are like this big, maybe even bigger.
It's much wider. If I can fit this in, like probably this much.
Someone's gonna make a meme out of that.
But anyways, as far as my predictions, as we head into the second half of this series, I'm hoping,
me too,
to get a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna go into this with low expectations at this point. And then, like I've said and what you said, as far as the last few episodes, that's probably going to be the only point where probably breaks the mold as far as the predictability and repetition or repetitiveness.
In terms of its storytelling, anyways.
Yeah, but as far as what you said, the way that they finish out the or defeat the Shocker boss and everything with the rider kick and explosion, with what we've seen so far, there could be a high chance of that actually happening.
I'm willing to bet the farm on it.
I would say percentage wise, I would say 85% chance.
I will go 100 on that. I am guaranteeing you it will happen. You heard it right here on part 14 of our Kamen Rider discussion. I am guaranteeing it will happen.
As far as my rating for the first half, again, the first 20 or so episodes were pretty good until the signs of repetitiveness and predictability of each of the episodes after the first 20 or so episodes. I would give it. I'll also go with a C plus. I was debating either a C plus or a regular C to be kind of more in the middle, but yeah, with the first handful of episodes that were pretty good, yeah, I'll also go with the C plus for the first half.
And I would argue, yeah, because I should go with the C as well, but because of the goodwill I have towards those first handful of episodes, I'm going to grade it on a small curve because of that, just because of the goodwill I have towards those first 20-something episodes. But this is irritating. I mean, I'm hoping this will get better. Like I was saying earlier, there are more than enough episodes left to where it should get better. Mm-hmm. We should be seeing improvement with a series like this, especially with the number of episodes. Instead, we're seeing a decline. And you and I are in the same boat. We're hoping, but realistically, we're not expecting it. Because right now to me, this is almost like the exact same conversation we had a couple of years ago when we were covering Ultra 7. But Ultra 7 was
same thing with Spectre Man.
But again, though, too, of course, with these sort of shows, you're going to have some sameness, but you can always, you're not literally copying and pasting story beats. And you don't need to. Like Spectre Man even proved that. Ultraman proved that. But Kamen Rider, and from my perspective, much of the MCU, other than a couple of films, have done the same thing. It's just copy and paste, and you make slight adjustments here for the villain and or hero. Otherwise, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so infuriating. Like you and I have said, as we progress through this particular podcast, we're getting bored with this because, yes, we know the heroes are eventually going to win anyways. That's not the point, though. The point of it is to enjoy the villains, enjoy the story going from the process of a villain coming in, causing havoc and all that, to the eventual defeat of that villain by our hero through unique means. It's not unique when your hero every fucking time does the same move over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Look at what it did to me. I'm so sick of it. It started out as a joke, you and I here, how many podcasts ago we're like, okay, so what's the betting line on it's going to end in a rider kick and an explosion? That was just something starting out as funny because even then we were like, this is repetitive, but we thought, okay, maybe this has been going on long enough. Maybe it'll change. now it's an actual thing where we're like, no, we're being serious about this now. And at the same time, we're getting irritated because we're proving to you this is going to happen by and large. Like, like the betting, like going into this last episode, plus infinity for both explosion and rider kick. Because now they're even telling you in the episode title how it's going to end. It just is.
I'll at least say the best thing that's come out of not only this batch of episodes for this podcast, but the first half is the word mystic gibberish.
Mystical gibberish was the number one thing to come out of this. And the second one is rider wheel.
Yeah.
By the way, though, didn't I talk to you because the kids and I were going to do a home show next Saturday? Didn't we already discuss about doing a podcast next Sunday instead of Saturday?
Yeah, you sent me a text of that.
Okay, because it's been a while, I couldn't remember. So yeah, our next podcast is on the 17th instead of the 16th. I think we're still doing it at 1. So yeah, same time, just a different day. So yeah, so thank you for joining us. we hope you enjoyed it. I know it got a little bit more serious with us there towards the end just because we're getting angered at the series now.
Annoyed.
Yeah, so join us next Sunday for 4 more Kamen Rider episodes.
So before we sign off here, if you see a subscribe button down below or above, wherever you're watching us, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as smash the like button and as well as the notification bell icon to get any further notifications whenever we go live or post any videos in the future. And you can find everything in one place at our Linktree URL, smack dab right in front of you. / Go Kaiji Show, and we're available on the following video platforms such as YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Facebook, and X/Twitter, and as well as the following audio platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Podbean. And you can find both video and audio versions of our episodes right there at our own website at DaikaijuNetwork.com.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, we'll see you guys about a week from tomorrow. So take care.